Hey, what is up everybody? It is AJ here, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my 5 reasons why I've switched over to using a Kindle for reading instead of physical books. As a kid and as an adult, I've always loved to read, and I always thought there was something special about having a physical book in my hand. I love the smell of the book, the feel of the book, going to the bookstore and finding your next great read. And even though I try to digitize most things in my life, I just thought I wouldn't be converted to using a digital e-reader because there's just so many great things about having a book. But I decided early this year to give a Kindle a go, and honestly, after about 2 months, I cannot go back. Well, not that I can't go back, but I have decided most of my reading is going to be done on the Kindle, and I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons why I now prefer reading on the Kindle over getting a physical book. So the Kindle I have is the 2022 Paperwhite, but honestly, comparing this to the more expensive, and I think even more importantly, the cheaper Kindle, there's not really much of a difference between them, and if I swap this out for the smaller, cheaper Kindle, I'd be just as happy with this device. The main thing is you want to use it for reading, and between all the Kindles in the range, they have the same 300 dpi. So that means when you're looking at it, it all looks the same. The text is as crisp and as clear on the cheapest model as it is on the most expensive one, and I think that is the most important thing when you are reading. But of course, do your own research and see which is the best Kindle for you. I'd say if I had to swap this for that cheaper one, I wouldn't be anywhere near as upset about the quality of it, but I do prefer having the bigger screen on the Kindle Paperwhite, and of course, there's a few more functions in the color settings and the brightness of it. If you're someone that travels quite a bit, whether on public transport or whatever it may be, having the Kindle actually makes it a lot easier to get in and out of your bag, and it's a lot lighter as well. But the biggest thing I found going from a physical book to the Kindle is more about when you're reading. When you've got a physical book, and especially if it's a big book, they can be awkward to hold. You got to hold it in the middle, the pages bend, sometimes it's heavier on one side or the other. The Kindle alleviates all of that because it is the same no matter which side you're reading it on. It's quite light to hold, and basic things like going forward a page, back a page, or just holding it up is a lot easier than carrying a physical book. And I didn't think that would be a big advantage of having a Kindle until I started using one. Along with being a lot easier to hold, maneuver, and manipulate when I am reading, there's so many convenient things about having a Kindle, especially when you finish the book. Usually you'd have to go into the bookstore or order one off Amazon and then wait for that delivery or make a trip to the store. With the Kindle, you can just go on the library and look at thousands and thousands of books. You can search for books, you can get recommendations for books, and of course you can go on Amazon on your laptop, download something and have it sent straight to your Kindle. So the convenience of finishing a book, going into the library and getting another one is just unparalleled. Instead of having to go into the store or instead of having to go online and wait for a delivery, you can instantly start reading a new book. And this is really important, say on a Saturday afternoon where you've got not much to do and you just want to pick up a book and read for a bit. I found that was a massive advantage to me reading more because I just grab this, download something and start reading within a couple of seconds. Speaking of the convenience of getting books, ebooks are also usually a lot cheaper than they are buying the physical copy. So even though you have to outlay and spend a bit more money to buy the Kindle itself, you will save money when you are purchasing ebooks online because they are generally a bit cheaper or a lot cheaper depending on the book if you are getting it in an ebook version than the physical version. You can also subscribe to things like Kindle Unlimited that gives you a massive library to download. It's a monthly subscription, but then you get thousands of books to download for that one cost. Or if you've got an Amazon account, which you most likely do, there's thousands of books on there that are free to download as well. So in terms of the amount of books you can read, the Kindle just gives you so many more options because you can download them instantly, but it also gives you subscriptions to a cheaper book library, as well as giving you discounts on the individual books that you do buy. Another big standout to me when it comes to accessing books is the ability to download samples of books. When you do buy a physical book, you're really taking a gamble on whether you're going to like that book or not. With the Kindle, you can actually go on and download a sample of a book. You get the first few pages that allows you to really get a feel for the book and see if you do like it or not. And if you do like it, you can go ahead and buy that book. If you don't, you simply return that sample. I've done this a couple of times, and there's been a few books where I thought I may like it, I've decided I didn't, and I returned it. There was no cost to me. It was really simple to download the sample, and then I'd got a feel for the book. That's something you can't really do with a physical book because you either have to buy it or not. And then of course, being a digital e-reader, there is customization you can make with the Kindle in terms of the font, the size, how it looks, the brightness of it. And there's a few more customizations you can do over a physical book that once it's printed, it's basically what it is. In the Kindle being digital, you can customize it to whatever suits best for you, whether you want a bigger font, a smaller font, whether you need the screen brighter or dimmer. And then of course, because it is a digital device, it can be connected to the web where you can highlight things and underline them. And if you're ever stuck on a word, you can simply press and hold, and then you can get dictionary definitions for that word. So there are advantages having a Kindle over a physical book, even when it just comes to consumption. But I think the biggest one is the fact that you can press the top right hand corner and drop your bookmark in. I hate putting dogtails in my physical book, and I do lose my bookmark quite a bit. Being able to just press the top right corner, add the bookmark, and I know exactly where I get to when I go back to my book. It's a simple. As I said, I love reading books and I've always loved reading. And I decided to take stock before I actually made this video to see how many books I've read in the past 2 months since getting my Kindle. And it turns out I'm on my 8th book. That is actually way more reading than I would have done in 2 months if I was buying physical books. But having access to them via the Kindle just makes it so much easier for me to read more. And the advantage of actually finding books I like, I have downloaded a few samples and seen whether those books are for me. Then I've just decided not and return them, which I think is a really big advantage. The other thing is with the Kindle, you've got so many books that you can store on here that if you wanted to jump between a few different books, you could literally have hundreds of thousands of books on your Kindle, and you don't have to read them one by one. You can move between one book to another, which again just makes it a lot more convenient when you're out and about. You can pull out your Kindle and choose what you want to read at the time. Whereas if you got to put all these different books in your bag, it's going to weigh you down and you're most likely not going to carry multiple books at the one time. I still do love the smell, the feel, and just everything about a physical book. But I think for me, the convenience of what the Kindle delivers has allowed me to read a lot more. It's allowed me access to even more books at a faster pace. And honestly, the reading experience is totally comparable to having a physical book in your hand. I don't think physical books are going away anytime soon, and I still love putting them on my bookshelf, but for most of my reading moving forward, I'm pretty sure it's all going to be done via the Kindle. Of course, those are my thoughts on the Kindle. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.